In the world of celebrity drama, every so often, a story breaks that makes the internet stop and stare, and this one is the full buffet. We're not just talking about a cheating scandal. This is a full-on war involving broken marriages, exposed text messages, financial manipulation, and very public accusations. The players: Remy Ma, legendary rapper and no stranger to controversy; Claressa Shields, two-time Olympic gold medalist and world champion boxer; and Papoose, the once respected figure in hip-hop best known for his loyalty and quiet presence, now completely rebranded in the worst possible way. If you thought this was going to be a simple story about infidelity, you've got another thing coming. This is the tale of how black love unraveled, how an Olympic champion got caught in the middle, and how one live stream turned the internet upside down. Claressa Shields has long been seen as one of the most accomplished athletes in the world. She came from the gritty streets of Flint, Michigan, defied the odds, and carved out a legacy in the male-dominated sport of boxing. She's a role model for many, having reached championship status by her 20s and maintaining an unblemished record. But despite all of this, recent headlines have painted a drastically different picture of the woman once dubbed T-Rex. Now, Claressa is being dragged into one of the messiest love triangles we've ever seen, and her name is coming up not for her wins in the ring, but for her losses in love. It all started when Claressa allegedly put out text messages between her and Papoose. Yes, that Papoose, Remy Ma's husband of over a decade, effectively letting the world know they were more than just friends. Not only that, but she did it with a kind of recklessness that shocked even her own fans. She included her personal phone number, which appeared on her social media platform with over 10 million followers, opening the floodgates to harassment, speculation, and chaos. This wasn't just some leak, it was a digital detonation. People were quick to question Claressa's judgment. After all, how does someone so successful, so young, and with so much to lose, fall into a relationship with a man who is not only much older, but seemingly has no stable career, income, or ambitions beyond what he can gain through her? Insiders claimed that Papoose was acting as her manager, but that title came with some shady undertones. Was he guiding her career or just siphoning off a percentage? And why would someone with so much power and potential allow herself to be used like this? Enter Remy Ma. Never one to keep her mouth shut when wronged, the Bronx rapper took to the internet in one of the most explosive rants in recent celebrity memory. She didn't just throw shade, she exposed everything. Her frustration wasn't just rooted in betrayal, it was rooted in disbelief. In her own words, she said, "You're a piece of Papoose. You really are." That line alone went viral and symbolized the complete destruction of the image they had built over the years. According to Remy, the man the public knew as loyal and supportive had long been a facade. She painted a picture of a man who failed in his career, gambled away opportunities, and clung to her, and now Claressa like a lifeline. Her message to Claressa was brutal but eye-opening. "Girl, you just turned 30 years old. You are a world champion. You have made it from the depths of Flint, Michigan. You don't have any kids. You have your whole life ahead of you. Why are you attaching yourself to this 47-year-old man with no income except for what he's getting from you?" Remy wasn't done there. She went on to explain that Papoose was still living in the home she paid for in cash, refusing to leave despite the separation. She exposed his lack of financial contribution and claimed that she took care of their child, their household, and essentially funded the entire lifestyle they shared. It was her money, her name on the deed, and her independence that kept things afloat. The image of black love that fans adored was a carefully curated fantasy, and she was tired of playing along. The situation got uglier as the women began going at each other online. Claressa, never one to shy away from confrontation, clapped back after Remy's public comments. In a now viral response, she wrote, "How a woman with 2 boyfriends mad at a man that has a girlfriend? Remy Ma, if I ain't the only one, why the hell you tagging me?" And just like that, the gloves were off. The internet erupted. Twitter was ablaze with commentary. TikTok users dissected every post, and YouTubers, just like us, began piecing together the timeline. Remy's original claims were suddenly being challenged by the very woman she accused of stealing her husband. But Claressa wasn't just defending herself. She was throwing Remy's credibility under the bus, framing her as a bitter ex-wife unable to move on. But Remy fired back with deeper revelations. She claimed she had known about Papoose's betrayal long before Claressa entered the picture. According to Remy, Papoose had a long history of infidelity, one that included cheating while she was incarcerated and even impregnating other women. She even admitted that she had to fight one of his baby mothers at her mother-in-law's house during a family gathering, and even after all of that, she stayed silent for the sake of their image until now. After weeks of silence, Papoose finally decided to speak out. And when he did, it was nothing short of scorched earth. He posted a picture of Remy and her alleged boyfriend, battle rapper Easy the Block Captain, cuddled up on Christmas Day. His caption revealed a lot more than just heartbreak. It revealed a man who felt used and disrespected. He wrote, "While I was at home with my daughter last Christmas, this is where Remy was." He went on to accuse her of lying about the timeline of their breakup and said he had tried to handle the divorce quietly. But Remy refused to go down without taking him with her. He ended his post with a now infamous claim. "I knocked this chump out. Not because he slept with my wife, but because he shook my hand and then slept with her." It was raw, painful, and brutally honest. For the first time, we saw Papoose's anger in full force. He wasn't the composed, lyrical husband anymore. He was a man on the edge, desperate to reclaim control of a narrative that had spiraled beyond him. But it wasn't just cheating that Remy wanted to expose, it was financial and emotional manipulation. In another live stream, she laid out the real reason she believes Papoose gravitated toward Claressa. In her words, he only got with her because he needed somewhere to stay. She alleged that Papoose has no substantial income of his own and used both her and Claressa as stepping stones to survive. She detailed how she had paid for their home in full and supported the entire household financially. "Actually," she said, "my ex might be the least income-making person I've ever been with." That line stung, and she wasn't just speaking from bitterness, she was speaking from exhaustion. She went on to explain that Papoose refused to move his things out, didn't co-parent equally, and was emotionally manipulative to the point of gaslighting her into silence for the sake of preserving his public image. She even revealed personal family issues, claiming that Papoose had a son whom he deliberately distanced himself from, simply because he didn't approve of the son's sexual orientation. That alone opened up a whole new can of worms for viewers, many of whom felt that this situation was no longer about a love triangle, it was about deep-rooted toxicity and unresolved trauma. At the time of this video, the war is still raging. Claressa continues to fire back on social media, while Papoose seems to be trying to regain control of his reputation. Remy, meanwhile, is walking a tightrope between exposing the truth and preserving whatever's left of her privacy. Divorce papers have reportedly been filed, but peace? That's nowhere in sight. However, the internet goes wild after a snippet from a recent Instagram Live surfaces, and it's Remy Ma looking visibly uncomfortable as she answers a fan's question about trust in relationships. In the clip, Remy hesitates for a moment before saying something that had viewers clutching their pearls. "You never really know someone until you catch them." Then, after a beat, she added, "Let's just say I've seen things that made me question everything." At first, fans speculated. Was she talking about a friend? A label situation? But shortly after, another clip emerged, this one allegedly from a private conversation at a recent industry event. A source close to the couple claims that Remy confided in someone, saying she had caught Papoose in a compromising situation with another woman, a woman he had apparently been seeing behind her back. The side chick wasn't named, and no photos have surfaced yet, but according to insiders, Remy had long suspected something was off. She had reportedly been noticing shifts in Papoose's behavior, late-night phone calls, unexplained absences, and vague answers about where he was spending his time. The final straw allegedly came when Remy found messages, or worse, photos that left no room for doubt. While she hasn't publicly confirmed every detail, fans believe her carefully worded responses, paired with her body language and social media silence toward Papoose, speak volumes. Now let's talk about the other woman, the alleged side chick. While no verified identity has been released, blogs and gossip pages are already buzzing with potential leads. One woman, a social media influencer with ties to the music industry, has been posting cryptic captions that fans believe are direct shots at Remy. One post in particular caught the internet's attention. It read, "He said I'm his piece, and I believe him." And it was posted right after Remy's IG Live went viral. Coincidence? Maybe, but the timing was suspicious. Another post showed her at a luxury restaurant in New York, the same one Papoose had been photographed at the week prior. But this time, he wasn't with Remy. Commenters flooded her page, accusing her of being the mystery woman and demanding answers. She has since made her profile private. Whether this woman is the side chick or not, it's clear that someone in Papoose's circle may not have been as loyal to Remy as we all believed. Since the story broke, Remy has been noticeably quiet online. Her posts have become sporadic, often featuring solo shots, inspirational quotes, and subtle jabs at betrayal. One recent tweet simply said, "Loyalty isn't love. Don't get it twisted." Fans immediately took that as confirmation that the rumors were true. Gone are the sweet anniversary posts, the shout-outs to her king, and the couple selfies. And for someone as outspoken and confident as Remy Ma, her silence on the matter has only amplified the noise. Meanwhile, Papoose hasn't addressed the allegations publicly either. No denials, no apologies, nothing. Their social media activity, or lack thereof, has become its own kind of statement. Unfollowing each other, deleting tagged photos, and even skipping out on joint appearances. It all paints a picture that something is indeed broken behind the scenes. Fans have had strong reactions to the news. Twitter and TikTok are flooded with comments like, "If Papoose cheated on Remy after all these years, then love really is dead. She held him down while building an empire, and this is how she gets treated. I don't believe it until I see receipts. Papoose ain't that guy." But others aren't so sure. Some believe the rumors are overblown and part of a publicity stunt. Others say that everyone makes mistakes, and maybe it's not what it seems. Still, the majority of fans feel deeply disappointed, especially considering the couple's long history and Remy's emotional vulnerability in recent months. Even fellow celebrities have weighed in. One female rapper tweeted, "Sometimes the ones who preach loyalty the loudest be the first to fold." Another industry insider posted, "Y'all better hug your girl extra tight tonight. Because if Remy Ma can get cheated on." Let's take a moment to unpack why this story isn't just your regular cheating scandal. It's because Remy and Papoose were different. They represented something that so many people want to believe in, a bond built on struggle, forgiveness, and time. They showed us that love could survive prison walls, industry pressure, and public scrutiny. And now, to hear that it might have been shattered by betrayal, it cuts deep. Also, let's be real, in an industry full of overexposed relationships, theirs had a level of authenticity that fans respected. They were private but supportive, business-minded but deeply affectionate. And while we know no couple is perfect, this scandal strikes at the heart of what people thought could never happen, not to them. So where do they go from here? That's the million-dollar question. Some insiders say Remy is done and quietly preparing for life without Papoose. Others say they're in counseling and trying to work through the damage behind closed doors. There are even whispers that she might use this heartbreak as creative fuel, with a solo album reportedly in the works that could address everything. As for Papoose, if the rumors are true, this could mark a major fall from grace. His brand has been built on loyalty, family, and black love. A cheating scandal undermines all of that. Whether he decides to speak publicly or not, fans will be watching and judging. This story serves as a reminder that no matter how perfect things look on the outside, every relationship has its struggles. And while Remy and Papoose's love story inspired millions, it's also proof that nobody, not even hip-hop's most loyal couple, is immune to temptation, mistakes, or betrayal. At the end of the day, only Remy and Papoose know the full truth. Maybe they'll make a public statement. Maybe they'll choose to heal in private. Either way, fans will continue to root for Remy Ma, a woman who has survived prison, industry hate, and now, possibly, heartbreak, with the same strength and fearlessness she's always shown. So, what can we take from all of this? The downfall of a public relationship like Remy and Papoose's is painful to watch, especially because they were once a symbol of what unconditional support looked like. But behind the Instagram photos and BET Awards, there was pain, betrayal, and a growing list of lies. Claressa's involvement only added fuel to a fire that was already burning. So now, we turn the mic to you. Is Papoose really the villain here, or is this the result of long-standing resentment coming to the surface? Did Claressa truly know what she was getting into, or was she just another pawn in a much deeper game? And is Remy exposing the truth or rewriting history to fit her side? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breakdowns on the real stories behind the headlines.